Hello, and welcome back to the EU Salt Mine. I am your host, Brian. We have another series today. I don't mean to surprise you too much there. Two more 1v1 veterans of the Manfield Night 5K return to face off again. Before the series, let me say thank you to our sponsor, Manscaped. They contributed half the prize pool, the other half was given very generously and very anonymously. Eekso did not start off too well in the salt mine, but has since drawn level to 2 wins and 2 losses. He can extend the current win streak to 3 series today. Scrub has not turned his salt mine loss streak around yet, losing all series and all games played so far. He won't want to cross his halfway point in the league winless. Now it's time to pass this over to Johnny.
Game 1, eekso trying to join Astral on 3 wins in the league. Scrub Killa simply looking for his first game win. Now, unlike a lot of the games in the EU Salt Mine League play, this is a matchup that we have seen recently. In fact, the highest prize pool 1v1 in Rocket League history for a single match. That was won by Scrub Killa, as so many of the high prize pool 1v1 tournaments and matches are. But it wasn't eekso in the Batmobile that day, as he is today. And Scrub Killa off to a good start in this matchup, just like he was in that one. Scrub needs to up his consistency. He's been plagued with problems in regards boost management, positioning, decision making, everything that he's usually dominating in. Speed, recoveries, power shots, the list goes on. He just hasn't looked himself recently. His confidence is certainly taking a hit. But if he can get off to a good start, if he can start to put some wins on the board, then who knows what could happen, because we've seen what he can do in the past countless times. Scrub Killa has wowed the world with his own ability. He's the only player who at the age of 15 had everybody talking about him after playing exactly no games in RLCS 3v3. It's a decent hook shot setup by Scrub, but the shot leaves a lot to be desired. eekso quick on the counter attack to the left hand side. Might be able to set one up of his own. Wave dash shot looking clean for eekso. Just look at the acceleration on the ball here. It was just bouncing along casually, then all of a sudden eekso chips it to the bottom right corner. That is a beautiful shot by someone who's found a new run of form in a brand new car. We never saw eekso in the Batmobile. It was always Octane for the longest time. And it didn't look convincing in his first Batmobile matchup in the EU Salt Mine, but it still ended up in a win. So did the match after that one. It has been outstanding at times, reaching levels of defensive capability that many of us didn't think were possible for him. Player who very often synonymous with offense, but just look at this double touch save from eekso. That says it all. Crazy after messing up the first touch to be able to get anything there. But his flick hasn't done much work for him. Scrub Killa on the counter, ahead by 1 once again. And it's all about that 1 game win for Scrub. He just needs to get that one on the board, then he can start to think about everything else. eekso, of course, knows that Scrub Killa is currently 0-9, and he doesn't want to be the player to hand Scrub Killa his first win. He would love more than anything to put Scrub Killa 0-12 at the end of the series. And you know, he is capable. He's been good enough recently, and Scrub Killa has been inconsistent enough as of late that it's not a scoreline that is completely out of the question. Like I said before, it's all about game 1. Will Scrub Killa catch a break? Will he have any fortune on his side? eekso gets beaten at the near post by a very nice turnaround shot by Scrub. You know, earlier I criticized his turning and his power shot, but right there, got them both correct. If you start to put together good plays like that more often, who knows, maybe there is something to be gained from the EU Salt Mine for Scrub. It's a great read. He knows exactly what eekso's planning here, and he counters it with the immediate interception. Scrub Killa could see there that the ball wasn't sitting on the wall like eekso would have probably wanted it to be. Of course, if the ball's touching the wall there, eekso can start an air dribble, he can go for a ceiling shot. But when it's just sitting slightly off the wall like it was. The only thing that eekso can do to continue attacking is chip the ball infield. And Scrub Killa saw that, countered it, scored at the other end. Just like he's done here, eekso has to do more with these shots if he is going to land inside Scrub Killa's goal after taking his shot. You best hope that either the ball or Scrub Killa's car does as well, because you're not going to come out on top if Scrub Killa can get the ball out of the net and then land on the outside of the goal himself. It's a brilliant save by eekso. How he avoided Scrub's demo there, I'm not entirely sure, but he did well. And Scrub Killa hasn't avoided eekso's one. I think eekso trying to send Scrub a message here. If there's anyone you don't want to mess with in the air dribble bump game, I don't think it's eekso, because he has quite the record and quite the history with that particular move. 2 minutes left in the game. Scrub Killa still looking good for game 1. eekso can't see him here, so he has to pop the ball high. Scrub Killa backing way off, ready for the rebound, and that's something you don't expect him to do wrong these days. Plenty of practice with these back wall reads in threes recently. And eekso does look like he's struggling for boost at the moment. Scrub Killa could knock a lot of time off the clock here, maybe even get eekso completely starved and back him up into a corner. How to do that would be multiple shots. If Scrub Killa could just start peppering the backboard and the goal with one shot after another like he so often does, eekso would be in trouble. But look at that, eekso once again on the counter attack gets the exquisite final touch to apply the ball in such a way that Scrub can't reach it. Now that didn't look like the most consistent defense by Scrub. He did run out of boost and then panic on his rotation back. It's not all eekso there. He's relying on Scrub to continue being inconsistent at times, but he'll take it, and he'll need to take every goal he can get in this game if he's going to win it. Scrub Killa with a kickoff goes back in front by 2. He's not getting a kickoff goal here, but it's the next best thing. Possession play in the back corner, which will lead to another one. Oh, it's hit the bar actually. Scrub Killa with a close one, but eekso's heavy touch will not set him up for a counter attack. At least not yet. He's trying to find a way through, but Scrub Killa is parked up on the back wall, ready and waiting for him, and a double touch off the floor might get him a goal. No, eekso's right there for it. Scrub Killa misses, and now eekso has somewhat of an opening, but Scrub Killa arrives just in time. Scrub Killa smart to stay on the ball here. If he leaves it for a moment, eekso will just take the ball and probably dribble it successfully, as he has been all game long. There's no dodge available here for eekso, and he's giving it away again. That might be game 1 for Scrub, the first game that he's won in the salt mine. eekso has to score on this attack, or it will be. Now he's got Scrub exactly where he wants him, but Scrub Killa's at least wasted a bit of time here. He's wasted enough time, and there is game 1 in favor of Scrub. His losing streak comes to an end, and eekso is the one who gives him his first win.
Scrub has won a game in the salt mine. That is already enough of a reason to have a post-match interview. But will he be able to keep this going, or will it just be one win? I suppose a lot of that depends on which eekso shows up to play in game 2.
Quite a lot of overextensions for eekso in game 1. That's something he will not be trying to replicate in game 2, and indeed further on into the series, should there be many more games. But Scrub Killa is picking up right where he left off, and he's 1 goal up again after a mine game. eekso, for all of his improvements to his defensive game, showing quite a few chinks in his armor at the moment. Largest one being his own inability to stop taking himself out of the game. We'll see if that continues to bother him. A lot of power on eekso's shot, but it is directly at Scrub Killa, who's tried to fire back at him and sent the ball wide and slowly into the corner. That's a really nice piece of control by eekso in the back corner. And how about the air dribble as well? Scrub Killa thought it was the moment to sneak in there and get a drive-by demo, but eekso saw it coming, moved the ball and his car safely out of the way, and it only took him a few seconds to find the equalizer. I don't hate that play by Scrub. In fact, I think that the drive-by demo in the offensive corner is much better than just taking a 50-50 most of the time, but Scrub Killa will need to think more about the recovery after the fact, as well as going all in for it. eekso is to avoid the bump, and there is no follow-up for Scrub, then we're going to see plenty more goals like the one we just saw. eekso, reverse air dribble again, and he's not had to bump Scrub out the way because Scrub couldn't read the trajectory anyway. The ball control is certainly still there for eekso. Not an issue. Scrub Killa was trying to fly in front of him there, avoid the bump, and then backflip into the ball, but the ball just approached a bit slower than he was expecting. That's a good bump by eekso. Scrub Killa didn't see it coming. eekso going to make a play here from the right-hand side. Another wave dash shot, but this time Scrub's going to get in the way of it. He might try and shoot this one direct. It is on target. eekso pinches it off his own crossbar, and that has gone flying back into the blue half. Scrub Killa be disappointed that eekso got that clear. Thought maybe you would get some spoils, some scraps afterwards. Oh, but look at that by Scrub. That might be his best goal since the reverse center ball against Fairy Peak. Great landing. Maximum deception in the approach. eekso did not think a bottom left corner shot was coming after Scrub's spin approach into the middle. But that's exactly what happened. Brilliant by Scrub, who at times can surprise just about anybody with what he's capable of. But look at that from eekso. He set himself up with a pinch into the middle. Well played to him to recover after this one. He didn't go completely all in for the pinch there. He didn't land sideways. He still made sure to land on his wheels, so if it didn't go quickly on target, if it hit the post or if it rolled towards the goal slowly like it did, then he would still have a chance to get the finishing touch on it. It's something that a lot of players forget when they're going for pinches. It's just all or nothing. Let me just dodge into the wall, forget about the landing. But eekso rarely forgets about his landing. It's always in the back of his mind. Scrub Killa, not the best save, but he's landed perfectly. That's going to allow him to deny eekso any follow-up on that shot. That's good speed by Scrub into the middle. He's trying to turn around here and put the shot on target before eekso can get there, and he will place it correctly into the far post top corner. This was really smart by Scrub. Of course, if he hits that to the near post, eekso can use the momentum that he's generated to get the save, but by putting it across him, eekso lost all of his momentum while turning. eekso's going to go one goal ahead with a kickoff. Scrub Killa is keeping this close. It's like the Flake series in many ways, close games. Scrub Killa is still struggling. Luckily, he does have the one win in the bag. Still curious to see how that is going to help him moving forward. eekso finds a way through, and he knows Scrub's miles out of the game here. Trying to waste a bit of time as he scores into the open net. Scrub Killa is going to need to be careful. This is a more calculated look at eekso. It's not an eekso who's going all in and landing in the goal when the ball gets saved. He's making sure to get the ball past Scrub and make things as awkward as possible for him. It looks like eekso's going to own goal here. Scrub's shot was already on target. But in attempting to get back and save it, eekso has only accelerated his own demise as it goes into the bottom right instead of the bottom left. You know, looking at that again, it might have in fact been going wide off the post. I'm not entirely sure. Of course, eekso has to imagine that Scrub will score that shot. There is no other play than to pre-flip into position. eekso's reverse flicks have been, but they've seen better days. These aren't the same pace that we're used to seeing from him. And I wonder if he should just start taking the shot from farther away, because at times it looks like eekso's getting a bit too close and then he's worried to shoot too quickly for fear of missing. If he just flicks from further away, he doesn't have that problem. He would welcome any powerful shot into the bar. But he still has a 2-goal lead, even though his offense isn't popping off as much as it usually does. Scrub Killa has been quiet, especially compared to game 1. He's not had the same influence over this game as he did the last one. He's going to be back within 1 here. eekso over aggressive with no boost, and Scrub Killa sees the opening on the right hand side of the field. Just a bit too late to the ball there. eekso wanted a 50-50. He didn't want Scrub to get a clean hit on it. Scrub going to try and get another goal here to tie things up, and that's a perfect volley by him. You know, power shots haven't been all that great for him this tournament, but they're getting better. And that's all that matters for Scrub. He's not thinking about the series he's already lost. He's not thinking about the games he's already lost. He's just thinking about what to improve on, how he can get better results further down the line. And that's one way to do it, just hit the ball consistently harder. That's a great save by Scrub. Look at where the ball's bouncing as well. eekso getting tripped up on his way to the back corner, but he still gets the boost after Scrub might have left him alone with it too long. And that's a nice pass to himself off the back wall. eekso continuing the same game plan as he showed us earlier. He's not so concerned about taking risky shots as he is getting the ball past Scrub Killa and then worrying about what to do with it. eekso ahead by 1 again, trying to make it 2 now. It's a better flick, but Scrub saved it. And he's got good vision on eekso as he collects the ball in the back corner. eekso does not have much boost to play with here. I believe he might be on 0 at the moment, and that tells us the full story. eekso is not comfortable. He didn't want to just give the ball to Scrub 2 times in a row. He gave it away there. He's thinking here, well, I better knock it into the corner, but he slowed down too much and just popped it on target into his own net. And now suddenly Scrub Killa has a real chance at going 2-0 up in a series. What a turnaround it would be if he could in fact sweep eekso today after being swept 3 times in a row. eekso usually goes the distance in every series he plays. Always game 5s, whether it's a win or a loss. And it might still be today. 8-7 now in favor of eekso. And that was a more confident flick than the ones we saw earlier. No slow approach with a backflip. No, this time he leans into it and gives it everything he's got. With 42 seconds left, he's in the lead once again. Scrub Killa dribbles the ball to the left wall. Has his dodge off the ceiling here. He's got eekso in a perfect position. Well executed by Scrub. He had a lot of options here, but he picked the right one. Second that eekso dove off the wall to try and put in a challenge. That's when Scrub made contact with the ball. That's when he took the shot. That's when he got the equalizer. 30 seconds left. Scrub Killa hasn't had a lead for quite a while. It's been all eekso and equalizers. Can he get the most important one? eekso sneaks in for a pinch shot. No way. Has he just done that? That was so sneaky by eekso. Scrub Killa with a good save, but he's still in a rough position here. And eekso with the final few seconds is looking to take another one goalie, but he hits the bar. And now Scrub Killa might have the game. He's given eekso a close one to try and tilt him even further. But into overtime we go for game 2. Who will get the kickoff? It's Scrub Killa. And he's got some space as well. Infield he goes. Tries for the top left corner. eekso's in the way of him. And that's risky. Scrub Killa left the ball for a moment. eekso shot it. But it wasn't on target, and that's one of Scrub's better flicks. eekso double touches it wide. Risky position to be in. Scrub Killa is also playing a risky overtime so far. That's not the first time that he's given the ball to eekso as he runs down the line. Interesting use of ball cam there by Scrub to keep an eye on what eekso's doing, but he's actually got one of his best chances yet now. Air dribble gets started. eekso comes from inside the goal in a position that Scrub couldn't see him. This is one of the goals where you can't see through the near post. Big advantage for eekso in defense. Scrub Killa pre-jumps to double touch. It's on target slowly, and eekso wins just a minute into OT, and now comes the quick chat response. eekso demolishes Scrub in the challenge, and he just drops down the rebound, seeing Scrub's pre-jump, and ties up the series 1-1.
Thank you Manscaped for sponsoring the EU Salt Mine. There's an offer code for you, tourney20, which is a 20% discount for Manscaped purchases. That was an intense second game. This should be a good series.
eekso responds to Scrub Killa's attempt at tilting him with an overtime win. Showing great composure as well. Not many players would even want to go up for a double touch there, or a rebound rather. eekso did, and also struck the ball behind Scrub, who'd pre-jumped too far in front. Now we get to see how Scrub Killa responds. He's not had much going his way in the salt mine so far. Will this just be another damaging blow to his confidence, or will he respond like a champion, like he has so many times in the past? eekso showing great composure and defense again, even though Scrub Killa was nearby, threatening bumps and demos. No flip reset for eekso though. And Scrub Killa trying to get his own offense started in game 3 as well. Nothing really working for either player. Of course, they're not trying to waste time here. They're trying to work the ball forward at a pace that causes discomfort to the opponent, but in doing so, these heavier touches often result in free giveaways of possession. Scrub Killa constantly looking for that extra touch that eekso isn't expecting, but eekso sneaks in and takes the boost in the back corner. I think Scrub was expecting him to come away with that one. So many bumps and demos being faked. eekso just walks the ball in after Scrub commits everything into avoiding this bump. He just drove all the way up the wall there, expecting eekso to chase him, but eekso didn't chase him. He just waited with the ball. In the end, Scrub Killa looking pretty foolish there. eekso's definitely come out on top of that mental battle, just like he did in overtime game 2. Starting to see more of a clear split in the table. I say more of a clear split just because there are actually some players on other scores besides 1 win and 2 losses like we had previously. But eekso wants to join those at the top, and he's on the road to doing so every time that Scrub Killa types anything in quick chat. eekso scores and then replies. He waits with his reply until his play has already done the talking. And I don't know if these quick chats are doing Scrub many favors here. He's landed inside eekso's goal, but the ball has not. And eekso again calling every bluff from Scrub, who's trying to fake challenges here at the edge of the box, but eekso's not falling for it. He knows that there's no real intention for Scrub there to make a real challenge. Just brings the ball down, flicks it on target, and now he's ahead 3-0. He's even thanked Scrub for the free goal. This is going to be interesting to see how Scrub responds to this. So far it hasn't looked good for him. I think he's really been his own worst enemy here. That one close one in game 2 has done so much damage to him. He's even pre-jumping. Scrub Killa might be tilted, ladies and gentlemen, and eekso knows that. He's going to try and waste as much time as possible. He's going to try and tilt Scrub as much as possible. Scrub Killa does not know what to do. I mean, eekso sitting behind the ball on a Batmobile must be giving Scrub nightmares, because he's had to deal with this in the past so many times. First from Cuxer97 when they were rivals, and more recently from Fairy Peak. Never really did find a good strategy against the Batmobile hiding behind the ball. It's not easy to counter. Scrub Killa trying to go for more drive-by demos, but eekso's too fast for him. He avoids every single one of them, and then once the net is wide open, he puts a 4th goal in. It must be incredibly tilting to be Scrub Killa right now. He knows that he didn't come out on top of the quick chat exchange, and afterwards he's conceded multiple goals to an eekso who couldn't have looked more composed if he tried. He's going to try and waste even more time here, trying to tilt Scrub more than he's ever been tilted before, and I've seen him pretty tilted on his stream a few times. Scrub Killa charging in for an attempted dunk, but eekso puts that one wide as well. Well, speaking of the devil, he's put his own shot wide in an attempt to go up 5-0. Look at this from eekso. He could dribble the ball any way he wants here. He had time, but he wants to go back onto his goal line. He's trying to frustrate Scrub, and I'm pretty sure it's working. Scrub Killa doesn't know what to do. He's finally got the ball. Nice shot, says eekso. Oh no, Scrub Killa hasn't got any answers here. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do to dispossess somebody who's parking the bus like this. eekso's vision has been immaculate throughout all this. He's kept an eye on every movement Scrub's made. But Scrub Killa has to do something about this. Any goal would be huge in helping him improve his mentality going into a game number 4. We will go into game number 4 no matter what happens here. eekso is picking up a nice win for himself here. This one will feel good, especially after how poorly his league play started. He was down 0 wins, 2 losses. Now it's on the way to 3 wins. Look at that, actually. Scrub can't see eekso there. It's one of the benefits for the defender in Aquadome is the near post is only see-through one way, unlike some other maps where you can see through both ways. eekso making the most of that, actually using it to his advantage. 300 IQ. Scrub Killa has not been able to score in 5 minutes of gameplay here, and most of the game has actually had the ball sitting on eekso's goal line, and still Scrub Killa can't put it in. Masterful defense by eekso. The tilt is on for Scrub Killa as eekso takes a 2-1 lead.
eekso wins game 3 and has the lead in the series. I don't think I would be anything but frustrated if I was in Scrub Killa's place after that game. But, in a positive light, at least he can't score fewer goals in the next game.
Is this another series loss for Scrub Killa, staring him in the face? He has to win 2 games in a row against a player who just shut him out for 5 straight minutes. Not an easy task. The first thing Scrub needs to do is try and untilt himself, because that has been a problem in the past 5 minutes, and maybe even more if we consider the overtime prior. eekso looks calm as you like, dribbling the ball around in defense, keeping an eye on what Scrub's doing, waiting for the misplays to come in and then punishing them. And Scrub Killa has made plenty misplays in the last game. Couldn't find a consistent way to challenge eekso when he just sits behind the ball like this, and I think that's why eekso's continued to do the exact same thing. Just bait in those challenges. So far Scrub Killa has not been baited. He's just sitting back on his goal line. You might see a bit of a double dribble here, but no, eekso bumps Scrub Killa out of the way, and now thinks about the open net. Brilliant save by Scrub. Can he reach the ball before eekso? Yes, he will. 1-0 after a double save from Scrub Killa. eekso thought that he had the time to put it in, but he was mistaken for once. The Scrub Killa breaks the streak of no goals being scored. Flip reset and a pre-flip from Scrub, but he sent it wide to the target. eekso also panicking a little bit, and he flips past the ball, but comes back for it. Gone for many flicks already in game number 4, but none of them have caused Scrub too many problems. eekso trying to do what Ocalid has shown us to be incredibly effective, and that's just constantly dribble the ball back into your own corner and see what your opponent does. eekso slows down the ball as it enters the goal, and he was flying ahead of it the entire way, not allowing Scrub any clear path through to it. 1-1. You know, game differential might in fact be more important for eekso than it is for Scrub Killa at this point, so a 3-1 win here could be huge for him. Scrub Killa is in such dire straits, behind everybody else by so much, except OSM, who's also got one of the worst win-loss differentials. Then you might just have to look at that long gauntlet run as a reality more than just a possibility at this point. eekso, though, he's firmly in the middle of the pack. Every game hugely important for him, and he's treating it just as you'd expect, with absolute focus, not leaving anything up to chance. 2-1 now in favor of eekso. To turn this series around after being the player on the receiving end of an attempted tilting quick chat, it's really impressive. It shows you how far eekso's come in the mental game, because he used to be so fragile, so frail. Just losing series, losing games from way ahead, from playing so well to playing so poorly. That eekso is long gone, and he's been replaced by the current one, who's currently air dribbling Scrub in slow motion, but it hasn't gone in. Scrub Killa just collects the ball on the goal line. He's bumped eekso away, at least for now, but eekso's coming in. Has he just forced Scrub Killa to own goal? Yes, he has! Scrub Killa had the ball right next to him, but eekso also had control, at least in a different way. And look at that, eekso's also watching this replay. He wanted Scrub to know about the intention of that play. Scrub Killa not too happy about that. He doesn't want to watch this one again. And now eekso is going to pick up a 5th goal. It looks like Scrub Killa is just lost for how to deal with the new brand of eekso that he's been dealt today. eekso fakes the kickoff, collects the ball in reverse, and then just shoots it on target into the open net. eekso not a fan of this script. I'm not sure if he's saying that for himself or if he's speaking for Scrub Killa at this point. If I were eekso, I would definitely be a fan of this script. This is a great look for him. It's doing some brilliant work for him. Of course, might be referring to the fact that he's the first player to lose to Scrub. Maybe he wanted the 3-0. Nothing else going to make him happy today. But he's played well enough, and I think he should be happy with how he's played, because eekso is someone who always goes farther in series. He's so rarely seen in a 3-0 in either direction. 3-1 for him is already a huge upgrade on the usual 3-2. Scrub Killa slow rolls eekso at the near post, gets around the ball, but eekso still back in the way of it before Scrub can put it in. Look at the composure of eekso once again. He's trying to dribble the ball out of defense while Scrub Killa is right in front of him, pretty much parking the car. eekso fires another one top corner, and I think it's gone in off Scrub, as if there wasn't already enough tilt, enough salt flowing from him. Yes, it has gone in off Scrub for 6-1. Got a minute, 25 seconds left. Scrub Killa setting up his redemption arc. I'm not sure if he's playing the long game here, if he's actually planning to win this series. But if he is planning to win it, it's going to have to be soon. That's a great first touch, though, as he drills the rebound into the goal. eekso's ready for it, and he's seen Scrub double touch off the floor before, I'm sure, so he knew what was coming there. It's a nice little handoff by Scrub. eekso takes the ball for himself, but Scrub Killa quickly back into possession. We already saw one failed redemption arc in NA. Scrub Killa don't want to go too far the wrong way before trying to turn around. It's a great ceiling shot from him. eekso's also watching this replay, so he's going to watch all the replays today. Scrub Killa being congratulated here by eekso for not giving up, despite being completely up against it at the moment. 6-2. And a kickoff win for eekso. Might be too much for Scrub Killa to come back with. eekso still hitting the ball past him whenever he can. His motto for the last few games has just been, let's not get dunked on. Let's not allow Scrub Killa to challenge effectively, because when Scrub's challenges aren't working, the rest of his game tends to fall apart these days. And eekso's just been running rings around him for large parts of this game in the last. eekso's way out of the game here. It's not going to be an easy conversion for Scrub, though, because it is bouncing awkwardly, but he is coming into the middle as quickly as he can. Not quick enough. eekso already there in defense. He's speedy by Scrub, but he's in front of the ball before he can shoot it, and in case it wasn't already obvious, eekso wins Game 4 and wins the series against Scrub Killa 3-1. It's an improvement for Scrub Killa, but still, he's on the wrong end of a series loss. eekso improves to 3 wins and 2 losses in the league.
If Scrub is working with the script writers to set up a big redemption arc, not being swept might be the first step. We'll find out next time if it is time for that journey yet. eekso wins 3 games in a row to take this series, to get his 3rd series win in a row. eekso's series win-loss and game win-loss are looking much more secure than he might have hoped for after his first 2 losses. He has secured his 3rd place spot for now, and will look to his final 2 series to try and climb higher still. Scrub finally gets a point in one of the win columns. He really is running out of games to earn a high placement in the gauntlet now. Thank you again to Manscaped for sponsoring the EU Salt Mine. There's an offer code for Manscaped purchases, tourney20, which will give you a 20% discount. Come back tomorrow, as Fairy Peak and Flakes return to continue this ongoing fight in the middle of the table. Thanks for watching today. This is the EU Salt Mine. I am your host and friend, Brian. Less than 3.
Is this another series loss for Scrub Killa, staring him in the face? He has to win 2 games in a row against a player who just shut him out for 5 straight minutes. Not an easy task. The first thing Scrub needs to do is try and untilt himself, because that has been a problem in the past 5 minutes, and maybe even more if you consider the overtime prior. eekso looks calm as you like, dribbling the ball around in defense, keeping an eye on what Scrub's doing, waiting for the misplays to come in and then punishing them. And Scrub Killa has made plenty misplays in the last game. couldn't find a consistent way to challenge eekso when he just sits behind the ball like this, and I think that's why eekso's continued to do the exact same thing. Just bait in those challenges. So far, Scrub Killa has not been baited. He's just sitting back on his goal line. We might see a bit of a double dribble here, but no, eekso bumps Scrub Killa out of the way, and now thinks about the open net. Brilliant save by Scrub. Can he reach the ball before eekso? Yes, he will. 1-0 after a double save from Scrub Killa. eekso thought that he had the time to put it in, but he was mistaken for once. The Scrub Killa breaks the streak of no goals being scored. Flip reset and a pre-flip from Scrub, but he sent it wide to the target. eekso also panicking a little bit, and he flips past the ball, but comes back for it. Gone for many flicks already in game number 4, but none of them have caused Scrub too many problems. eekso is trying to do what Khalid has shown us to be incredibly effective, and that's just constantly dribble the ball back into your own corner and see what your opponent does. eekso slows down the ball as it enters the goal, and he was flying ahead of it the entire way, not allowing Scrub any clear path through to it. 1-1. You know, game differential might in fact be more important for eekso than it is for Scrub Killa at this point, so a 3-1 win here could be huge for him. Scrub Killa is in such dire straits, behind everybody else by so much, except OSM, who's also got one of the worst win-loss differentials. Then you might just have to look at that long gauntlet run as a reality more than just a possibility at this point. eekso, though, he's firmly in the middle of the pack. Every game hugely important for him, and he's treating it just as you'd expect, with absolute focus, not leaving anything up to chance. 2-1 now in favor of eekso. To turn this series around after being the player on the receiving end of an attempted tilting quick chat, it's really impressive. It shows you how far eekso's come in the mental game, because he used to be so fragile, so frail. Just losing series, losing games from way ahead, from playing so well to playing so poorly. That eekso is long gone, and he's been replaced by the current one, who's currently air dribbling Scrub in slow motion, but it hasn't gone in. Scrub Killa just collects the ball on the goal line. He's bumped eekso away, at least for now, but eekso's coming in. Has he just forced Scrub Killa to own goal? Yes, he has! Scrub Killa had the ball right next to him, but eekso also had control, at least in a different way. And look at that, eekso's also watching this replay. He wanted Scrub to know about the intention of that play. Scrub Killa not too happy about that. He doesn't want to watch this one again. And now eekso is going to pick up a 5th goal. It looks like Scrub Killa is just lost for how to deal with the new brand of eekso that he's been dealt today. eekso fakes the kickoff, collects the ball in reverse, and then just shoots it on target into the open net. eekso not a fan of this script. I'm not sure if he's saying that for himself or if he's speaking for Scrub Killa at this point. If I were eekso, I would definitely be a fan of this script. This is a great look for him. It's doing some brilliant work for him. Of course, I might be referring to the fact that he's the first player to lose to Scrub. Maybe he wanted 3-0. Nothing else going to make him happy today. But he's played well enough, and I think he should be happy with how he's played, because eekso is someone who always goes farther in series. He's so rarely seen in a 3-0 in either direction. 3-1 for him is already a huge upgrade on the usual 3-2. Scrub Killa slow rolls eekso at the near post, gets around the ball, but eekso still back in the way of it before Scrub can put it in. Look at the composure of eekso once again. He's trying to dribble the ball out of defense while Scrub Killa is right in front of him, pretty much parking the car. eekso fires another one top corner, and I think it's gone in off Scrub, as if there wasn't already enough tilt, enough salt flowing from him. Yes, it has gone in off Scrub for 6-1. Got a minute, 25 seconds left. Scrub Killa is setting up his redemption arc. I'm not sure if he's playing the long game here, if he's actually planning to win this series. But if he is planning to win it, it's going to have to be soon. That's a great first touch, though, as he drills the rebound into the goal. eekso's ready for it, and he's seen Scrub double touch off the floor before, I'm sure, so he knew what was coming there. It's a nice little handoff by Scrub. eekso takes the ball for himself, but Scrub Killa quickly back into possession. We already saw one failed redemption arc in NA. Scrub Killa don't want to go too far the wrong way before trying to turn around. It's a great ceiling shot from him. eekso's also watching this replay, so he's going to watch all the replays today. Scrub Killa being congratulated here by eekso for not giving up, despite being completely up against it at the moment. 6-2. And a kick-off win for eekso. Might be too much for Scrub Killa to come back with. eekso still hitting the ball past him whenever he can. His motto for the last few games has just been, let's not get dunked on. Let's not allow Scrub Killa to challenge effectively, because when Scrub's challenges aren't working, the rest of his game tends to fall apart these days. And eekso's just been running rings around him for large parts of this game in the last. eekso's way out of the game here. It's not going to be an easy conversion for Scrub though, because it is bouncing awkwardly, but he is coming into the middle as quickly as he can. Not quick enough. eekso already there in defense. He's speedy by Scrub, but he's in front of the ball before he can shoot it, and in case it wasn't already obvious, eekso wins Game 4 and wins the series against Scrub Killa 3-1. It's an improvement for Scrub Killa, but still, he's on the wrong end of a series loss. eekso improves to 3 wins and 2 losses in the league.
If Scrub is working with the script writers to set up a big redemption arc, not being swept might be the first step. We'll find out next time if it is time for that journey yet. eekso wins 3 games in a row to take this series, to get his 3rd series win in a row. eekso's series win-loss and game win-loss are looking much more secure than he might have hoped for after his first 2 losses. He has secured his 3rd place spot for now, and will look to his final 2 series to try and climb higher still. Scrub finally gets a point in one of the win columns. He really is running out of games to earn a high placement in the gauntlet now. Thank you again to Manscaped for sponsoring the EU Salt Mine. There's an offer code for Manscaped purchases, tourney20, which will give you a 20% discount. Come back tomorrow, as Fairy Peak and Flakes return to continue this ongoing fight in the middle of the table. Thanks for watching today. This is the EU Salt Mine. I am your host and friend, Brian. Less than 3.